Welcome to the You're in Charge podcast, prioritizing your self-care without sacrifice. I'm your host, Heather Dumas, healthy lifestyle strategist, owner and founder of HD Transformations Coaching Company. I am passionate about helping you juggle all the balls and look and feel like a badass doing it. It's football season, and in our house, that's a big deal. Now, if you're not a football fan, don't go away yet. Hang on, because I have a really fun way of describing planning your life, getting yourself set up for success. So I don't know if you've ever heard of front-loading your goals, but in sports, a lot of times the team that comes out and scores first wins. They're coming now from a position, you don't want to start from a position from behind. You want to start as the leader. And it just kind of sets the tone for the whole game. Well, life and healthy lifestyle strategy is no different. If you set the tone and you start from behind, that definitely affects whether or not you're successful. What I mean by that is if you think about meal prepping or meal planning, cooking, whatever, you get a bunch of groceries, you bring them home. They can sit in the fridge, but they're not going to make themselves into a meal. You have to do the planning, you have to do the prepping, you have to do the cooking in order to make them into a meal. Now, if you do that ahead of time, you're front loading your goals. You're making it easier for when you come home and you're tired and you don't want to cook and magically dinner's already ready in the crock pot because you thought ahead and you made it done. You did it ahead of time. So just like the team that comes out and scores first, you need to be the one that scores for yourself first, meaning you got to set yourself up the day before, the night before, the week before, so that when you come out, you're already winning. So a way you can do it is breaking bigger goals into smaller manageable tasks. So again, the meal prepping or meal eating idea, right? There's a lot of little tasks that come before you actually have the dinner to eat. You have to plan it. You have to buy it. You have to chop it. You have to stir it, whatever. Okay. So if you set yourself up ahead of time, you plan out your meals all in one shot. Then you make your grocery list. Then you order your groceries because grocery delivery is a blessing, or you at least pick them up. And if you're having an issue right now, you're like, I need to pick out my own produce. Stop. There's a way around that too. We can have that conversation at another time. But I'm telling you, take advantage of other people shopping for you. So you plan it, you make your grocery list, you have someone else pick it up off the shelf, you get it to your house, and then you find the quickest, easiest way to make food for yourself. So maybe you like the Sunday marathon meal prep. Maybe you like to cook every day. I'm going to tell you, if you break it down and maybe chop up a bunch of carrots so they're easy to grab for a snack or something like that, so your fridge is stocked and easy to grab. If everything's in a bag all tied up, it's going to be one more step that you don't want to take to make that healthy meal. So unwrap them, get them off the vine or whatever, unwrap the little twisty things, like peel the carrots if you know you're going to be using them soon, that kind of stuff. Wash things so it's easy to grab and you don't have to worry about one extra step. Think about breaking it down into smaller little manageable tasks and then set the tone for the whole week by doing that. So same thing goes for calendars and task lists. I want to ask you, what is the difference for you between putting things on the calendar and using a task list? Do you use them both? Do you only use one? I know I use both. I think a lot of people use both. I want you to think about, we're going to stick with the sports analogy thing here. Think about the calendar as your playing field, right? You see coaches and they have like the clipboard that looks like the field and they draw out the plays. That's your calendar. Okay. Time blocking or calendar management, if you don't like the word time blocking, or two words, time blocking, is drawing out the play. Okay. So you're going through the calendar and you're marking things down. Think about like the school calendar, right? We get our school calendar way in advance. They have that thing ready. Like, God, I swear it's before the end of the school year. They've got the next one already planned out. I don't know how the hell they plan that many months in advance, but it has parent teacher conferences and it has fall break and spring break and all those things, right? That is your playbook. You know exactly what's going to happen. And if you do that with your own calendar, you know exactly what's going to happen. Now, it's non-negotiable. It's there. Holidays, they don't change. It's just what it is, right? Now, homework for your kids and your task list, they're flexible. right? They can be moved around. We can do homework before dinner, after school, right before bed. Same thing with your tasks, right? You can do your different things anytime throughout the day. But if you haven't drawn out the plays, if you haven't laid the framework, then you can't be successful because you're just trying to get everything done and it's chaos. Okay. So think about your calendar, think about your task list, and which one do you lean on harder? I'm hoping it's your calendar. I'm hoping that you're using your calendar as your framework for the day and filling in your tasks where there is room. Now, how do you choose the tasks? You got to go through and prioritize. You got to figure out what you want. You got to figure out what is most important. For me, I take my top 5 every day. I make sure those get done no matter what. Now, some people have to plan out their whole week. That is too much for me. I just need to go one day at a time. Whatever it is, that task list is what you fill in around the framing. So your workout, your cooking, if you need to cook dinner, your shower, because let's be honest, sometimes we don't get those in like we want to, your meditation, whatever, those all go in specific spots and they are non-negotiable. Now, the grocery shopping can be moved around. The laundry can be moved around. You can move around your kids' homework. You can move around different emailing and returning phone calls and that kind of thing. Now, inconveniently, you can't return phone calls at 10 o'clock at night, but you can figure it out. You see what I'm getting to. At the end of the day, though, you need to know what your goals are so that you can draw out the priorities, right? So I'm not a fan of writing my goals specifically, like with pen to paper. Some people are. I like to just kind of rehearse it every day, if you will, like affirmations. I think about my goals every single day, all day long. So I don't need to write them down, but a lot of people do. And it can be a form of accountability. It can also help you to compare the task list to the goal list and see where the priorities lie. And I do use that as an exercise in my Revived program. Actually, we do that as an exercise of looking exactly at what our tasks are, what our goals are, and kind of matching those up. But however you choose to do it, I hope that you're taking into account your goals when you're filling in your tasks and putting them in the priority. So now, are you going to make your plan and front load your goals? Or are you just going to show up and start throwing the ball? Yes, we're going back to my sports analogy. My husband would be cringing if he was listening right now. There are a lot of people that just show up and they just start doing. And they're busy, but they don't have a plan. And that to me is the equivalent of going out on the field and running around and just throwing the ball wherever you want to throw it with no rhyme or reason. The reason they draw out plays is so that you get from one end of the field to the other successfully. And if you want to get from point A to point B, like we talked about in episode 1, then you need to have a plan. And you need to front load your goals by setting yourself up for success with that plan, blocking it out, writing it down, filling in your task in the middle, and making sure that it is non-negotiable. If you don't plan and you just run around and do everything and you're just busy, that's where burnout comes in. So going through the motions is not going to get you there. Being busy is not going to get you there. Having a long to-do list or a filled-in calendar is not going to get you there. What's going to get you there is having a game plan and executing it. So I hope that you followed this analogy. I hope that this was useful to you. I'm curious to know your game plan. I'm curious to know if you need help with it. I would love to jump on a call and chat with you about it and see if your plan is working, if you need a new plan, if you need to adjust it. So let's jump on a call. Let's talk about it. In the meantime, don't just be throwing things. Don't just throw balls. Have a plan. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, you're in charge. You're the only one who can create the life and the body you desire. You and only you. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to cheer you on and occasionally to give you the kick in the ass you need to make it happen. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. If you found value in today's episode, please hit subscribe. It'll bring all the newest episodes to the top of your list. You won't have to worry about it. One less thing. And I would love for you to share it with your most stressed out, frazzled friend. She needs it even more than you do. If you have a question or a topic that you'd like me to cover, reach out, shoot me a message on any of the socials or directly on my website. I would love to hear your idea, your question, and I'm always looking for new ones. Until next time, keep being the badass you are, and remember, you are in charge.